Hi guys, is the new Accept album Humanoid unacceptable? Well, in a way it is, but in a different way than I expected. And in this album review, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Now this is the band's 17th album. Everybody knows this band. They were big in the 80s. They came with 4 albums in a row that I totally fell in love with. Breaker, Restless and Wild, Balls to the Walls, and Metal Heart. And Udo Dirksnadder, he was the coolest guy on earth in his military outfit. Wolf Hoffmann, Stefan Kaufmann. I never thought I would know so many German names, but they were there. And they were kind of pioneers of the sound and the feeling and all that stuff. And me, I was a huge fan. But all good things come to an end at some point, and Udo left the band, and then, Wolf kept it going, but with kind of moderate success. Until 2009, he hires Mark Tornillo as a singer. They seem to be having kind of like a second wind now. I was sort of excited about this album because I had seen them live, I think last year or something like that. They were really good, Mark was great, and this is one of my favorite kind of old school bands. But at the same time, I was doubtful. I had heard the singles. I wasn't super excited about them. The last album wasn't very impressive. I mean, there were some good songs in there. I was thinking that I might actually struggle with this because it's a band that I really, really like. And what if they would bring something that I really, really didn't like? That's kind of like telling your kid it's ugly or something. It starts with a really cool opening riff in the song called Diving Into Sin. Kind of Middle Eastern vibe somehow. Great sound quality right off the bat, but the song itself very much kind of straight out of the playbook and what I would have expected from them. Same with the second song, Humanoid. I feel that these are just somehow standard songs. They're good, but they're no game changers somehow. The guitar work from Wolf is excellent, but that was to be expected. I mean, there are 3 guitar guys in the band, but he is clearly he is the band. He's the only original member, so he kind of leads the line there. And they all get space, the guitars, which is kind of cool though. But I expected this. This shouldn't be a surprise on an Accept album with Wolf Hoffmann on guitars. But it's in song 4 that I actually get my kick. It's kind of a hard rock feel song, more like an AC/DC-ish song in some way. Has really cool lyrics about stuff that, maybe nowadays would be called toxic masculinity, but it's about, for me, the meat and potatoes of being a man. But at the same time, when I heard this song, I realized this might not be what a regular Accept fan would want from the band, because this is not like their usual stuff somehow. The next standout track for me is Nobody Gets Out Alive, and it's kind of the same thing. It's about life is just a journey and you're gonna die anyway, so just keep going. It's more of a hard rock song or something like that. And when I was listening to this album, I really felt like that all the instruments get their moment in the sun somehow. Even though there are 3 guitars, you still hear the bass and the drums. And Mark's singing is great. He is actually more kind of diverse and versatile than I thought he would be. And there is a ballad on this album called The Ravages of Time, and where he kind of shows a much more dynamic range in his vocals than he does in most of the other songs on the album. Now the third track that I really like is Straight Up Jack. It's just a banger, it's a song that kind of wants to get in, slam a few drinks and get into a good mood. And it's about that. It's about drinking straight up Jack Daniels whiskey, I guess, which I have done once in my life and will never do again. There isn't really any stinkers on this album. It just has a kind of a nice flow. It's 11 songs, 48 minutes. And as I said, I mean, like for me, the standout tracks, though, funnily, are all kind of not the normal Accept songs that I would have expected. Now the verdict, guys, the pros of this album is that sound quality is amazing. And as I said earlier, all the instruments kind of get their moment in the sun. There's great singing on this album. And the standout tracks for me are just bangers. These are songs that I could easily see myself listen to get into a good mood. The negatives is that the songs that I like might not be acceptable to the hardcore Accept fans. The songs that are not my favorite on this album are kind of just more of the same. And I'm not sure that I needed more of that, 17 albums of this kind of stuff in my life. But, it's not bad or anything like that. And as I said, it runs smoothly. So I'm actually going to give this album 8 out of 10. Now, I would be very happy if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel for more album reviews, concert reviews, and interviews. A lot of views. And then I want to turn your attention to this video here, which is my second thoughts on the new Judas Priest album, Invincible Shield. When I had been listening to it, gone to see them live, a lot of interesting stuff here. And then I have this interview that I actually did with David Ellison, ex-Megadeth, down here recently. Check that out.